The Reliaquest Bowl is the best. I'm talking the best non-playoff bowl matchup. It's Vandy and Iowa.
You are Locked On Vandy, your daily podcast on the Vanderbilt Commodores, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into another edition of the Locked On Vandy podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. I'm your host, Corey Burton, and bringing with me over a decade of experience in coaching and with the national sports media with Yahoo Sports. And joining me on this episode, we're gonna start to get a little deeper dive into the Reliaquest Bowl, and joining me here is none other than Iowa superfan, writer, the big on Big Ten and counting. It's Josh Cook, and co-host of the Illegal Motion College Football podcast, which should hopefully get a reboot here in the near future. Josh, when you look at this,
we fired Matt, right? Didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We fired Matt. He said, "All right, I'm gone to greener pastures." No, but anyway, this Iowa team, man. When you look, we're obviously I want to talk how they're going to stop Diego Pavia. You and I joke back and forth about Iowa's offense for the last, I don't know how many years. What have you noticed? What's the biggest thing that Iowa excels at offensively? What's the biggest thing that you've noticed is the difference from last year to this year? Is it Mark Gronowski? Is he the biggest difference, or is it just like a philosophy shift? What's going on out there?
There's several things. So obviously Mark Gronowski, very mobile quarterback. That's probably has been his best attribute this season. He's our second leading rusher. He has an absurd total of 15 touchdowns on the year. We've stolen some concepts from the NFL, and we get a lot of tush pushes. If it's 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, expect him in the middle. He's huge. He's really big. I think he is hoping that he'll be like Josh Allen or something with his size, and will develop into more of a thrower. He's been erratic, to say the least, as a thrower. He got hurt in camp and really didn't do much over the summer. And his timing was pretty bad the first few weeks of the season. And then he, against Indiana, had like a hyperextended knee and then seemed pretty tentative throwing off that knee. As we've gotten later in the season, he has gotten better. Before, he was really overthrowing people. His footwork did not look like a senior quarterback. His footwork did not look like a championship winning quarterback. And it was sort of, I know a lot of Iowa fans, self-included, were wondering how good are you actually if you're winning FCS titles? Definitely, as he's gotten healthier and more confident, he has looked a lot better the last few weeks. I think one thing that's really helped him is Reese Vanderzee, who is by far our most athletic wide receiver. He was also banged up all through summer, had a really slow start to the season, missed a few of the first few games, finally got into the action, and is finally really caught up to game speed. Against Nebraska, he had this incredible pro level Randy Moss. You got Moss style catch, like basically caught it behind the guy's helmet. He is by far our best wide receiver, and just was a non-factor really until the last couple weeks of the season. So that's definitely been a factor. I think the new offensive schemes, we no longer have Brian Ferentz. We're averaging about 30 points per game. It's definitely more of a pro style. That's why Gronowski even came here. He wanted to have a pro style playbook experience, something he did not have at South Dakota State. And you see the concepts a lot on Sunday that we do. We have people in motion. We're throwing out different looks. And it all starts, honestly, with our offensive line. This is, I know Kirk Ferentz gets all the love for having offensive lines every year, it seems like. This is a bit of a misnomer. This was a national media thing, kept bringing it up whenever Iowa would be on TV. In reality, our line has not been as good the last few years. But this year they are really, really playing well as a unit. Yeah, there's just a bunch of guys up front who are killing it. And I think the best way to describe just how impactful this offensive line has been is in our loss to USC. We were crushing the Trojans in the first half, and it looked like same old soft USC, going to lose in the trenches. And late in the second quarter, we had 3 guys get dinged up. 2 couldn't even play the second half. Our offensive line could do nothing, and we got shut out in the second half. So that is really the story for the Hawkeyes and their offense.
Yeah, it's quite the journey when you have guys missing. But also, I want to remind you guys, this episode is brought to you by FanDuel. If you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. So when I was watching some of the Iowa stuff, and I really kind of I started my focus on the Nebraska game because that was the most recent, and I noticed the run game was great. You have a Remington finalist and on the offensive line, and I really thought y'all were able to gash Nebraska in the running game, and it did set up the things that you could get for Gronowski in the pass game. He looked a lot more comfortable. I watched the game earlier this season in real time, and Gronowski just looked clunky. Just it was like, that guy's a national champion. Like I felt the same things that you just described when I watched Gronowski, and then I saw him against Nebraska, and I was like, that's not the same dude. This dude is dynamic. This dude is a national champion. Like, are you guys fully healthy?
Yeah, we like I said, we had a pretty rough camp. We've gotten more and more healthy as the season's gone on, and as of today, I double checked before coming on. Kirk is reporting no opt-outs and no planned bowl opt-outs. I don't know if it's something with how they scheduled NIL payments or something, but looks like we'll have our full complement of players.
That's good, and I think Vanderbilt, unless there's some guys that are going to hit the portal, I think all the guys that are leaving due to lack of eligibility after this game are playing because some of them want to, and some of them, if they have aspirations in the NFL, they have to get more tape on the field. But the only one I would anticipate, if any, would be Eli Stowers on the at the tight end position, because he's going to be a first rounder. But looking at this Vanderbilt defense versus this Iowa offense, what have you noticed from the Iowa perspective about how you guys can use your weapons to attack this Vanderbilt team?
Yeah, again, it starts up front. I mean, we have Logan Jones and Jennings Dunker are our 2 like stud offensive linemen. I fully expect both of them to be playing on Sunday. We have, it's funny, our starting running back, we kind of have a little bit of a running back by committee, but Kamari Moulton got the lion's share of the carries. He's a little under 800 yards, but again, he split carries with a couple other guys. But I cannot remember a running back that we've had that is as good as Moulton and just doesn't have 1 million yards and a bunch of touchdowns. It's kind of interesting. But he, seems like running backs are either the big play guys or the physical guys, or kind of like little like jitterbug, scat back type guys. And honestly, he can bowl you over, but in the open field, he seems as fast as any quarterback, or I keep saying quarterback, any running back I can remember. The closest comp that I have for just his vision and his all-round like playmaking ability, I feel like he's as good as Sean Green. And that team was a lot better. Yeah. And he did not share carries. So Sean Green had well over 1,000 yards, was a Heisman Trophy finalist. But just in terms of like their playmaking ability, that's the comp. The reason I kept saying quarterback when talking about running back is, again, Gronowski is a runner. And that's, I'll be honest, I haven't seen much of Vanderbilt this year. I don't know if mobile quarterbacks give you guys fits, but if they do, that's a good sign for Iowa, because that really is his bread and butter. He extends plays by rolling out of the pocket. We use him a lot in the running game. We have designed runs for him. We do a lot of RPO stuff. So if Vanderbilt does not like mobile quarterbacks defensively, that's a big help for Iowa.
Now, the thing with this defense is, and then this is probably spells bad news for Iowa, is that they look at basically Gronowski in the mirror every day when they look across at Diego Pavia. They're very similar in their styles of play and what they're good at. Obviously, Diego Pavia is a Heisman should be a Heisman front runner. He's a Heisman finalist at the very least, and they see that style. And a lot of what Iowa does with Gronowski, Vanderbilt does with Diego Pavia. So all the fall camp was basically that: stopping the quarterback +1, running attack, moving the pocket, defending, those type of things. The guys that have given them a lot of trouble are, the two losses were Ty Simpson, who's a pocket passer that can escape if he needs to, but just completely accurate, and Arch Manning, who had one of his best games in as a starter against when Vanderbilt traveled to Texas. Ashton Daniels gave them fits. He's not a runner. He can run, but he's not a run first guy. He gave them fits in the RPO stuff and really just quick game. So to me, if Iowa can find ways to just get the ball out quick, if they can find ways to get numbers advantages through formations and motions and try to figure out, okay, at the point of attack, if we can get to the edge, there will be a little bit of success there. And they'll have to dedicate a lot of bodies to the run, which will open some things up. Quick game, RPO game, stuff down the field with the moving pocket that Gronowski loves to do. So it's all going to predicate on the run game and really trying to get the edge in the run game and trying to take control of the C gap. I think that's where Vanderbilt can be had.
Yeah, I want to throw a few other weapons out there as we, before we move on from the Iowa offense. So already mentioned wide receiver Reese Vanderzee. He's back and healthy. Jacob Gill and Seth Anderson are our other two wide receivers.
Gill impressed me a lot.
Yeah, I was going to say both of them, again, up and down seasons, especially early. Both have come on. Jacob Gill's a pretty exciting guy. It's a little annoying that he's a grad student because it really seemed like he kind of had turned around.
He finally clicks, and now he's gone.
Then it's Iowa. We wouldn't be Iowa without a tight end. And coming into the season, Addison Ostrenga was supposed to be the guy, a senior, really showed flashes in his career. Unfortunately, he had a season-ending injury really early in the season. And for several weeks, tight end was kind of a black hole. We really didn't have one. It felt like we lost our identity a bit with that. And I think that also contributed to the very poor Iowa passing game if you watched any of our early season games. But redshirt freshman DJ, he's got a goofy name. I know you like the last names there, Coach.
I do.
DJ Vanami. Yeah, Vonnahme.
Tsunami.
There we go. Has really come on as of late, and it's cliche to say, "Oh, this is going to be Iowa's next big tight end," but he's shown some flashes already as a redshirt freshman. I think there's the potential there for him to be the big one. And then finally, like all great podcasts, we've saved the best for last. Any Iowa fans listening are probably pulling their hair out, being like, "How have you not mentioned him yet?" But we have a guy so famous in Iowa lore, we just call him by his last name, Weegen. It's spelled Wetjen. Do not punt to him. He has set the program record in punt returns for touchdown, passing a guy by the name of Tib Dwight. He has played more and more offensively. Has caught some passes. We have some design runs for him, and a little bit of a twist for Iowa. We sometimes use him as a diversion and have some quarterback draws built around him going in motion and play actioning out of it. But he's incredible. He is, words do not say how exciting it is when the opposing team is punting.
All right. Well, we'll talk about that when we do some special teams, because you can't talk Iowa Vandy without talking special teams. But I want to talk about Diego Pavia, and I want to talk about him facing this Iowa defense, but we're going to do that next. All right, let's talk about something that men don't bring up, but absolutely should. Stress from work, money, life. It just doesn't switch off at night. And when it shows up at the worst possible time, Rougiette Ready is designed to help you take back control. Rougiette Ready is the next generation prescription treatment created to both support the brain and the body so you can feel present, confident, and ready when the moment matters. Rougiette Ready combines 3 clinical proven ingredients in one mint that dissolves under your tongue so it absorbs fast. The science behind Rougiette Ready stands out. 3 clinically proven ingredients in one formula designed for both mental and physical readiness. You connect with board-certified doctors online, and everything ships directly to your door. It's easy to understand why over 150,000 men have already made the switch, and most men are ready in about 15 minutes on average, so if you can stay present, confident, and control when the moment's right. If you've been thinking about taking the next step, now's the time. So head to Rougiette.com/LockedOnCollege. That's RUGIET.com/LockedOnCollege to get 15% off your order for a limited time. Rougiette Ready. Feel present, feel confident, feel ready. Also, I want to talk to you about FanDuel. Yeah. The NFL Sundays move fast, one big play, and suddenly everything feels different. That's what makes betting and betting live with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it in real time. And with FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds. Every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight moment. Live betting is the best when the game starts to shift. The receiver gets hot, the defense tightens up, or the moment flips after a turnover. FanDuel lets you jump into the moment. Live spreads and money lines adjust instantly. Player props update as guys heat up, and you can bet the next touchdown scores, drive results, totals, and more. It keeps you locked into every snap, every drive, every possibility. So if you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. FanDuel, the game moves fast, and so can you. All right, welcome back. Thanks for making Locked On Vandy your first listen each and every day. Shout out to the Everydayers and the Everydayer Club. And if you never miss an episode, it's time to make it official. Join the Locked On Everydayer Club and get ad-free audio access and access to our members-only Discord and more, all built for our most loyal fans. So look right down here in the show notes, or go to lockedonvandy.supercast.com and join the Everydayer Club community now. So, Josh Cook, we're back. We talked all about Iowa's offense. I mean, you got to get out your number 2 pencil. You got to take some notes. There's some playmakers there. This is not the Iowa offense that you've grown to laugh at all for the last 6 years of Brian Ferentz's tenure, or however long he's been there. But the thing that really
for 2 years.
Exactly. And it's still burned in everybody's memory. But the thing that really stands out about Iowa is this. And Josh, I love joking with you about Brian Ferentz. So he could be gone for a decade and be like, yeah, remember the Brian Ferentz years, you know?
Unfortunately.
Yeah. And it'll always be. But obviously Iowa's drastically improving offensively. They just need to continue to build pieces and build, just kind of build some things. But defensively, defensively for Iowa, you could never say that was a problem. I mean, they've been stout defensively for as long as I remember. Defense, special teams, punch you in the mouth. Extremely physical football team, and that's what Vanderbilt needs to face. And I think honestly, the physicality of this defense and going up against an offense that's been very explosive, especially over the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season for Vanderbilt and Diego Pavia. I think this is probably a really good test, and this is the reason. This is the reason why I think it is a marquee matchup, and it is the best non-playoff bowl matchup in the whole lineup. And it's just this defense. So, like with Diego Pavia in this rushing attack, and obviously what they're able to do through the passing game with our own tight end, Eli Stowers, what about, what should we look for with this Iowa defense, and who's the main disruptor in the front seven? Who's the guy in the secondary that, hey, you got to find him?
Yeah. So, I think the best way to just capture Iowa's defense is a stat that I absolutely love. We've now had 18 straight seasons with at least one pick six. That's an absurdly long streak. When you break the numbers down statistically, we're up there with like Georgia and Alabama for defense over the last 20 years. We've had two great defensive coordinators back to back. Currently, it's Phil Parker. He's been there since day one of the Kirk Ferentz regime. And then about 12 years ago, thereabouts, moved from position coach to defensive coordinator. His bread and butter is the secondary. That's why we've had so many great secondary players come through our program. And he basically runs a base 4-3. You're not going to see a lot of variation of that. However, this season he's blitzing a lot more, and that has to do with our linebacking core came in as the youngest group of the defense, the least experienced, and then an injury forced a new starter in early in the season before the midway point. And one of the guys that had to step up and be the new starter is Jaden Montgomery, who he's listed coach at 5'10".
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure how they measured that. If it was they put him in the tallest cleats and then made sure he was on concrete so the cleats didn't go into the dirt, because he does not look that tall on TV. He reads plays well. He's a pretty sure tackler. He's good at run stopping, but obviously not great for pass coverage. He's going to be shorter than pretty much every threat in the passing game. So as a result, they've been blitzing a lot more, and that's kind of been a little bit different with Diego Pavia. Blitzing seems like a risky proposition. So then do you do a spy? Then you're kind of leaving a player out of your defense. So not sure which we are going to lean more on, but the players that will for sure be ready with whatever we do. Iowa's leading tackler, Carson Shire. Now, when you see him on the bowl game, Vandy fans, his name is spelled Sharar, but it is Shire, just like the Lord of the Rings thing. And and he's our leading tackler for a reason. He reads the plays so well. He's got 10 tackles for loss. He is a pretty sure pass defender when in coverage. He's maybe not the fastest guy, so we try and not have him on wide receivers ever. But yeah, he's a playmaker. In our secondary, we have a really hard hitter, Xavier Wampum, which is just a great name. I think he basically came to Iowa wanting to be Bob Sanders 2.0. He lays the lumber. I want to say though that nothing that he does is dirty. We are the least penalized team in the country, and he has not gotten a targeting.
It's just physical, and he's got great fundamentals, and he's not reckless with it, which is great. I mean, that's just good football. Exactly.
And then also in the secondary, Zach Lutmer. He is Iowa's other type of secret weapon, which is a white secondary player. He is attempting to become Cooper DeJean 2.0, and he was the one who has our most recent pick six to keep the
exciting whites.
Yeah. All those guys are really good. Iowa fans, though, definitely have a soft spot for the guys up on the line. Ethan Herkett and Max Llewellyn are the guys down in the trenches that Iowa fans absolutely love. In terms of who will be the most disruptive playmaker, the way Shire reads plays, and while I know he's not the fastest straight line speed guy, he is good with reading plays, reading angles, and while he might not win a foot race with Diego Pavia like a track meet, in the context of the play, I think he would take the appropriate angle and hopefully disrupt some of what Pavia does. I don't think it'll be easy. Obviously, it certainly won't be, especially if Pavia's the Heisman Trophy winner, which he very well could be. Iowa, with our defense, has definitely had a track record of struggling with mobile quarterbacks under the Ferentz regime. When we played Dante Moore at Oregon, he averaged like 11 yards a carry against us. So it could be a big day for Pavia. The other thing is, it's weird. Iowa has had some strange clunkers against talented running backs. Penn State ran all over us in the second half, or excuse me, in the first half. They had the running back had 140 yards at halftime. And then inexplicably, Penn State did not run him in the second half. It let Iowa come back and win the game. But we've had these moments where it's just like, it feels like when I'm watching the game, they are trying to do the R3 hit stick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wrap them up, please. Like, you're hitting them with your shoulder pad, but then not completing the tackle. And so we've had some weird plays like that. And definitely against some of the teams, again, he's a scrappy player. Iowa fans, we do love him, but there have been times where Montgomery, the really short linebacker, he gets washed out of the play. Yeah. And hard to play defense like that. So knowing the running game that Vanderbilt has, I will say Iowa fans are definitely nervous, because this is, the year we won the Orange Bowl, the years we've won the Big Ten, the defense is unimaginably great. This defense is good. This defense has some really fun players. I would not say it's like lock it down, we're holding Vanderbilt to 10 points. There was a streak there where we never gave up double-digit points, and that's just not true for this year's defense.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely seen those type of runs, but this is going to be, I think for this offense, it's going to be, it should be a lot of fun and a good way to get to get going. But Josh, let's talk some special teams, but hold that thought, because we'll do that next. Have you ever heard of Aura frames, Josh?
I have not.
Well, this is a good addition to your classroom. I have one in my classroom, and it's a digital picture frame, right? And it's something that just delivers every time. It's one of those where you can preload the frame before you gift it. You plug it in, it's just there. It's just instant smiles. There's no setup headaches. It's easy to do, and it's the number one conversation piece in my classroom when everybody walks in. So if you go to auraframes.com, you can get $35 off Carver mat frames and an extra 30% off for if you use the promo code college. So it's great, man. It's just endless. I mean, I've got 200 something photos on there. I mean, it's amazing, but it'd be a great showpiece. I know your students their mind would be just blown, just the pictures that just cycle back and forth. And you can put Cuesta on there. You can put a lot of pictures of Cuesta, and that would be absolutely outstanding. And the kids would be like, "Oh my gosh, your dog!" So if you want to do that, Josh, for a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver mat frames, named number 1 by Wirecutter, by using promo code college at checkout. That's Aura. That's AURA frames.com, promo code college. This deal is exclusive to listeners, and frames, they sell out fast. So order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Josh, welcome, man. Like I said, thanks for joining and thanks for giving us this massive insight on Iowa football. It wouldn't be an Iowa Vanderbilt episode if we didn't talk special teams. You've got a returner. We've got a returner who has been held in check all year long. Martell Height, he hadn't had much of an impact. Teams have been smartly kicking high punts to him with lots of hang time, kicking out of bounds, things like that. What is the best special teams unit that Iowa has?
Well, I think our most explosive would be our punt returning, which already talked about. So Kaden Wein, just incredible. I mean, like I said, multiple punt returns for touchdowns this season, several over his career. I think he's at 6, I think, for his career. The very opening kickoff against Rutgers, he took about 3 or 4 yards deep out of the end zone and housed it. He's instant offense against Michigan State. Inexplicably, they punted right at him, and he returned it 40 yards, set up a short field, points. The next possession, Michigan State lines up to punt, and the announcer's like, I'm not putting this anywhere near him. I'm putting it like 10 rows out of bounds. They punted right at him, and he housed it. So, in back-to-back punts, he had 100 punt return yards and a touchdown. And he is fearless. He's got the green light basically every time. He will not call a fair catch unless it's like he's going to get his head knocked off. He will return it in ways. Now, hilariously, it's backfired once or twice. There was a moment where at a kickoff landed in front of him and bounced. It, like the wind just killed it, and he let it bounce, and then the other team fielded it, and we're like, all right, Kaden, come on. You're smarter than that. But the few negatives he's had in his career are far outweighed by just absolutely electric returns. This is not a name that's thrown around lightly in Iowa football lore. Tim Dwight, he was a local prospect, a local track star. He won Big Ten titles in track. That's how fast he was. And Wein is the fastest I've seen since, which is a credit to him. And I mean, we even had some good ones. We had Cooper DeJean returning kicks. He's the one with the infamous fair catch, not a fair catch against Minnesota from a few years ago.
Oh yeah, I remember that. There was a lot of controversy.
Yeah, so it all starts with him. I do want to give a shout out to Drew Stevens, our senior kicker. Coming into this season, I thought he had a great chance of winning the the Lou Groza, or is that the punter? I always forget which one.
No, Lou Groza is the kicker. Ray Guy's the punter.
There we go. Thank you. I thought he had a good chance. He was on the watch list last year. He missed just too many kicks. Like that's the honest thing. He was very erratic at the start of the year. Even now, there's times where he's missed ones where it's like, dude, that's in your range. But he has the potential, if he can get his accuracy down, just, if he just improves that a pinch, he's got that NFL leg. We trotted him out against Penn State for like a 65-yarder. Mm-hmm. Now, it didn't work. The kick got blocked and returned for a touchdown. Oh. But the fact that we even attempted it is a credit to his range. And we can laugh about it because Iowa won the game. That was not the deciding factor.
Yeah, a lot of games that is.
Yeah, but that's just a credit to his range. Again, I know there's only 32 jobs, but I think there's a better than zero chance that he's kicking on Sunday. He's got that range, which is what the NFL is looking for. Mm-hmm. So I think those two guys, Wein and Stevens. Iowa loves to punt. That was our thing with Torrey Taylor. We still have a decent punter, not quite as good as Torrey Taylor, but Reese Dinkin is our punter, and he's pretty good. Inexplicably against Penn State, we snapped it about 20 yards over his head, which seemed confusing. And so he had a beautiful safety, maybe the best kick of his season. Was the snap went over his head. He runs back to get it. He attempts to kick it and misses, and then with his off foot connects and kicks it out of the back of the end zone. Saved us 5 points right there.
Oh gosh!
And again, we can laugh about these things because we did beat Penn State.
That looks like that was a special team. Special teams are truly special in that game. Jeez.
Yeah,
good Lord.
Out of the 11 games, our special teams was absolutely incredible, and then we had all of our mistakes against one team.
Yeah, that's it's just Penn State just all of a sudden. Yeah, that's crazy.
We always play weird games with Penn State. I mean, that was the infamous 6-4 game.
Yeah,
back in I want to say like 2001, 2002, somewhere around there. I can't remember.
So Josh, the before I let you go, you have this unique tradition of you take Iowa's schedule and you figure out what the best cuisine from that town is. So, are you attempting Nashville hot chicken, or what direction are you going there?
I don't know anything other than Nashville hot chicken. As someone who's visited you and Matt in Nashville several times, Nashville hot chicken is delicious. I would be a fool to go any other way. But I'll take suggestions. Is there a different counter?
I mean barbecue, but that's really just kind of all over the state. But yeah, you should, Nashville hot chicken, pimento mac and cheese, and sweet tea is your meal. And whatever greens you want. It doesn't matter what greens you want. The green food down south, we don't know what that is. They're called vegetables, apparently. That's what I've heard. So, but yeah, Nashville, hot chicken. I don't know what your heat level is, but what your heat tolerance is.
High. Yeah, it's pretty high. I'm trying to think the single best food thing that I had. It still sticks with me. Albany, New York is known for this thing called Melba sauce that they put on mozzarella sticks.
Oh,
it's like a local thing. And the Melba sauce is like.
Who did y'all play for that game? For
the University of Albany. Albany. Days. Yeah.
Oh.
That was our first game of the year.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. See, the Big Ten, we play all of our FCS teams week 1 rather than like week 11.
But we still play. We're going to non-conference games next year. So,
but yeah, it's basically it's like grape jelly that's been reduced, and so I just literally boiled some grape jelly and it kind of thickened up and I guess it released all the sugars or whatever, and we were like sweet with the mozzarella sticks. Okay, this seems a little weird, but you got that sweet and savory. So that was the most pleasant food surprise. So if your listeners want to pick up this tradition of cooking foods to honor the opponents and want to try something new, Melba sauce.
Melba sauce. Okay. Yeah. Make that note. Melba sauce, Albany, New York. Go check that out. But Josh, man, it's been a pleasure, dude. We'll have to, we've got a long time before kickoff, so we'll get you on a couple more times. We'll talk more.
Love to. Anytime, Coach.
More specific things. And Josh, it's been great, man. And thank you for tuning in to Locked On Vandy. Thank you for making us part of your day. We're gonna hopefully push Diego Pavia through to the Heisman Trophy, win or lose. I'll be on right after to react, so that look out for an announcement on the live stream. And then next week, it's all bowl talk, hoops, and everything as we move forward. So make sure you subscribe and follow Locked On Vandy so you get all the latest episodes. Catch the show at Locked On Vandy on all social media platforms. And I got a question for you. Did Locked On Vandy make your Spotify Wrapped? Well, just prove it on social media to secure a free month of our brand new Everydayer Club. Just tag our National Locked On Podcast Network account on any social platform, and we'll drop you a code. Be one of the first to join the Everydayer Club to get your favorite show ad-free and exclusive access to the members-only Discord channel. So for those you on video, we'll send you to the first ever 24/7 National Locked On Podcast Network YouTube channel. On audio, make sure you make your second listen Locked On College Football. And until next time, anchor down. Peace.